Hey guys! So for my second video for today, as promised from my update, I am doing a book review first. Obviously, you're going to be able to tell by the title. I am reviewing 50 Shades of Grey by E.L. James. This is a book that I have been asked about to do a review on for quite a while, and I'm finally going to do it. So here we go. 50 Shades of Grey from E.L. James. Um, trying to decide here how I'm going to exactly talk about it because there's a lot of adult situations. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and just do what I normally do. The book is 514 pages, and your font looks like this. And this version of mine is paperback, obviously. And yeah, so let's go ahead and read the back. It says, when literature student Anastasia Steele goes to interview young entrepreneur Christian Grey, she encounters a man who is beautiful, brilliant, and intimidating. The unworldly, innocent Anna is startled to realize she wants this man, and despite his enigmatic reserve, finds she is desperate to get close to him. Unable to resist Anna's quiet beauty, wit, and independent spirit, Gray admits he wants her too, but on his own terms. Shocked yet thrilled by Gray's singular erotic tastes, Anna hesitates. For all the trappings of success, his multinational businesses, his vast wealth, his loving family, Gray is a man tormented by demons and consumed by the need to control. When the couple embarks on a daring, passionately physical affair, Anna discovers Christian Gray's secrets and explores her own dark desires. This is the first book in the 50 Shades trilogy, and yeah, basically what it says on the back is what it's about. It is a very sexual book, obviously. I've actually seen a lot of people say they didn't realize how sexual it would be, which really made me laugh because if the little blurb on the back didn't give you enough of an indication about what this book is about, it also says on the back that it's for mature audience and it says erotic romance right there. How could you not realize? I don't know. Anyways, so normally I don't read books like this. I have no interest in books of this type at all. The only reason why I read it to begin with was because I had friends who have read the book and they actually really enjoyed it, and they're the same as I am with not liking books of this nature. So I figured if they liked it, and they don't like these kinds of books either, then I would give it a try. So I picked it up and I read it. And honestly, I'm surprised. I actually did enjoy this book. I did not enjoy all of the sexualness of the book, but there is a storyline in the book that I did enjoy. The storyline is what drew me in. The storyline is what kept me reading the book to the end. Um, the sexual scenes I very well could have just skipped over. I did not care for the sexual scenes, but the storyline itself was really, really good. I really enjoyed the storyline. You have to kind of bear with it if you read a book like this for storyline, because it is, as it says on the back, it is an erotic romance book. There's erotic. There's going to be a lot of sexual things happening in an erotic book. So you have to keep that in mind when reading this book. If you haven't read it yet and you do want to read it for storyline, you're going to have to be either reading through or skipping over a lot of the sexual acts in this book because there's a lot of them. It is an erotic book. There's going to be a lot of sexual things that happen. Anyways, the main character, Anna, I kind of had an issue with. I didn't really have an issue with her till the end of the book, so I'm not really going to say why. Uh, but she just, the way she handled things at the end of the book made me really, like, dislike her character a lot. But the character Christian Grey, I found him fascinating. I don't know what it is about him in particular, but just the things he deals with and the things he has to overcome and that he's struggling to get past to make this whole thing work with Anna, I just found really really interesting, and I really really liked that part of him. Whenever he was working for the better, he wasn't just commanding, you know. So yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to say about the book. Um, I can't really go into the plot because, like I said, it's very sexual. Um, I will give you guys like a little bit of a hint. If you haven't read the book yet, there is like this kind of goes on the sexual part of it, but there is BDSM in the book. That is what Christian, his character, that is what he is. He's a dom. So yeah, if that gives you any indication. Um, Other than that, I really can't go too far into the plot because, like I said, it's pretty sexual. But the actual storyline in the book itself is the reason why I stuck with it, and I actually really enjoyed the storyline part of it. uh, Christian is, a rich guy, and then you have this really shy, not so rich college girl named Anna, and they meet when she goes to interview him in place of a friend, and sparks fly, and it just shows like their struggles of trying to balance each other out. She's trying to get him to understand she doesn't need everything to be all fancy, and he's trying to spoil her with his money, and um, it's just basically on how they come to terms with their newfound relationship. And I actually really enjoyed that part of the book. The the sexual parts of it not so much, but the rest of it I really enjoyed. So I would say that if you're going to read this book and you have not read it yet, don't be, or at least try not to be, completely put off by all of the sexual things if that's not your thing, because even though there are a lot of them in this book, and there are a lot of them in this book, that's why it's an erotic romance for mature audiences. The storyline itself is, I thought, was really good. I really enjoyed the storyline part of it. So if you're gonna read it, but you don't like the sexualness in books like that, like when it's overly done, like every chapter or every other chapter or whatever, then don't read it for that. Read it for the storyline. And you really have to look past the sexual things to really enjoy the storyline. And honestly, the storyline is worth it. This book, as I stated before, is for mature audiences. So if you're under, I want to say like 18, because most adult videos and stuff you're supposed to be 18 for, anyways. But if you're, I know kids don't listen to that, but regardless, this book is explicit. If you're going to read this book, I would recommend that you at least be an adult. That's what it's aimed towards. And like I said, it is very descriptive in quite a bit of it. So it's and obviously, there's a lot of it as well. So yeah, I would recommend this book to you though, honestly, just for pure storyline. Um, I didn't think I would like it because of all the sexual things, but once I looked past all of the sexual things and I just pretty much read it for storyline, I really enjoyed it. Now, I know the other books, from what I've heard, are a little bit worse with the storyline as far as like there's not really a whole lot of storyline in them. I am planning on reading at least the second book to see um, how the storyline goes with it, but can't guarantee I'll read the third one. It just depends, like I said, on how the second one goes. But the first one does have enough storyline to keep you interested, even if you're not there, like me, if you're not there for the sexual part of the book. The storyline is enough to keep you going. I do recommend this book. If you're willing to give it a chance, I would definitely suggest you try it. I know there's been a lot of people reviewing this book on YouTube and on Goodreads and everything else that really despise this book because of all of the adult situations. But honestly, and I'm just saying this because it is how I honestly truly feel. If you're gonna read it at all, but you don't like the sexualness, then just read it for storyline. There's enough storyline in the book that you'll hopefully you'll be satisfied with it. that's pretty much what I read it for, was the storyline. I didn't skip over any parts though, just because when I read a book, I want to read all of the book. But I'm telling you guys, aside from all of the sexual things, the storyline is definitely worth sticking for. So yeah, I would recommend this book, and that's pretty much my thoughts on it. So I'm gonna give that a thumbs up. See you guys in my next video.